My name is Hiteshi and I'm an art enthusiast person. I love painting. Basically, anything related to canvas painting is my thing. And today I'm here to show you how to make your own to-do list. So since it's the beginning of the new years, we all are going to be hunting for planners and to-do list and journals and all of those fun things. But over the period of last 1 year, even in last year, we have almost collected so many notebooks, so many stationaries, so many journals, and we do not even end up using them. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can, use your old journals and make something, interesting out of it. So today, as I said, I'm going to be showing you how to do your own to-do list. We are going to start with basic thing. I'm sure everybody has, random notebooks, planners lying at their place, which are half used, and we do not end up using them to the fullest. Like I have a few initial pages, something which is written on it, and half of the planner is like empty. So we don't even like to use the same old journal for the new year. Okay, basically it is about new things. So you're going to be what you're going to do is you're going to tear pages from your old journal and you're going to be reusing them. So I have a couple of them ready right here. Okay, so what I will advise is if you're going to be using multiple journals and you're going to collect everything from different kind of journals or your books which are available at your place, make sure it is of same size, because you will have problem binding them in the next stages. Or you can segregate them with A4 or A3 papers and then make different journals of different sizes. After that, what you do is, once this is ready, either you can punch it right now or you can do it later on. So I would suggest you to do it later on, because based on the size of the cover you're going to be using for binding this, then you can plan ahead. So basically this is just first part is to tear and collect the pages from your notebook. A very interesting thing about this is when I was younger, my mom used to collect these kind of papers from all our different, notebooks from school, because we never ended up using, all the pages from each subject notebooks. And then we used to use this as a rough book in school or for our tuition classes or whatever. So this is a very good idea if you want to do it for your kids and just for their practice of writing or whatever purposes. You can definitely do this. Then what you're going to be needing is you're going to be needing paper. It could be a chart paper or it could be like this plain white paper. This is a mixed media paper. So basically you can do oil painting, you can do acrylic painting, you can do colors pencils, or you can do pencil sketching on these kind of papers. And they are quite flexible. So like if you fold them, it's not going to be like a dent completely. You can definitely straighten it out. So it's very good for planners, because this is because you tend to keep it in your bag, or it's lying on the table, or if it's on your bed and if somebody sits on it, you basically don't want it to be all folded and crumbled up. So if you use like a thin paper, then it will be a problem. So basically you want to be giving binding to this thin paper, so which is why you're going to be using a hard paper. Now, coming to the part what to do on this paper is absolutely your own choice. There's nothing that's going to be stopping you. So if you're very good with painting, or if you like to do pencil sketching, you can definitely do that. And then I'll show you what you can do for now. I'm going to be drawing a very simple sketch over here, and I'm going to be showing you. So I'm just going to be using like a stick to the mid of it, so that the frame is not uneven. Like my drawing is not below, it's not on top. I'm going to do something right in the middle so that it looks good to the eye. You can use chart papers for sure. There's no compulsion of using a mixed media paper. The only thing is it just gives you a better area to work with, and different mediums and colors and elements you can do along with. So I'm drawing a very simple drawing right now because I want even kids to, be able to make this by themselves. And it's a kind of a painting or a drawing, which is, friendly for adults. It is also friendly for kids. So what I'm doing is I'm basically trying to draw a rainbow in here, something somewhat like this. I'm not sure if you're able to see, but I've just made a rainbow over here. And then you're going to be painting this rainbow. So I have already painted one, and that is ready. So it will basically look something like this. And I have written to-do list below. You can also, if you are not very good, you think your handwriting is not really nice, a very, very superb option for this is to use these stamps, letter stamps. You get them at any stationery store, and they're also very fun to do, and it's very easy to use these. You just have to have a stamping pad basically, and you're good to go. So I have this ink stamp, and you can just kind of, make sure you only trace the letters. So something like this, and then you just stamp it on the paper. So it comes with individual letters. It comes with different fonts, different sizes. And then you can use this to write whatever you want to write on your to-do list, or basically on the cover. You can also use these inside of your pages, like every day you can write, say maybe date, or you can write the month, or you can write the day with these. And these are also very fun and calming activity. And this is also very good for kids as well, so I think they love doing this. This is a small hack if you do not like to, or if you don't like your handwriting, or you feel that you want something more beautiful on the cover of your page, you can definitely try using these. And that's about it for the cover. So once you're done with the cover, you can punch the papers. Okay, so maybe I have a bunch of yours, and I use like two papers. So one with my drawing and one at the back. One for the back, so it's almost like a book for you. If you want a to-do list that is smaller in size, you could definitely halfen the page and then just use like the other half. It's so small. I personally like to write a lot of things inside, so I feel a small size is a little bit difficult for me to handle. So I conveniently like to use a bigger one. But make sure the pages are not too many, because you want to be able to switch off like in a few months or so. And plus if it becomes heavier, you're not going to be able to carry it everywhere. So to-do list is something that people do like to carry in their bags or wherever they go. So make sure it is thin enough and it's not like bulky, because it's not a planner, right? It is a to-do list only. Then what you do is you basically punch them together, and it's neat enough so that you can, pass the thread to it. So before I show you how to, bind this together, I really quickly want to show you how the stamp effect will look versus, when you write certain thing with your own hand. Maybe if your handwriting is great, you don't have a problem. But for people like me, especially, so I think a stamp works like great. I have a very mini kind of a stamp station right here. So it's a small one. You get in bigger sizes, you get it in different fonts. So it will look something like this. And it's like to do and list you can add together. What I would suggest is to make this more convenient, have all your letters, whichever you're going to be using for this, ready in like this, rubber band kind of situation. If you have lost the box that initially comes in, the box is not really handy, especially the one that I have. So I just try to, use the letters which I use on day-to-day basis, like on this kind of rubber band situation. or you can basically use it from your box directly. So it will give you a nice vintage effect using stamps. So if you want, you can definitely do something like this as well. Coming back to sort of putting these together, all you have to do is just punch them, and then you're going to put a thread across it and you're going to just tie it. If you feel that your stamp is like the papers are too much, you can definitely section them. So your main cover paper, you punch them together so that they are equal, and then you punch your paper, like normal paper, inside paper. Also, I have used ruled papers. You can definitely go with blank paper, checks kind of situation, the way you like it. So people usually also prefer to have a blank pages inside because they like to draw, or they like to make it like a bullet journal by themselves. So you can do that. I have just punched my papers together. This is my set 1. I will also do it for the next set. And so on and so forth. You're going to be punching your papers together. Make sure they are all aligned, and so that it's easier to put them together once it's done. So they are all rolled and they are all punched now. Now I'm going to be punching these two. Also, if you don't want to draw anything on your cover pages, you can just paint them of any color. Just give it a bit of coloring effect to it, and it's not necessary or compulsory to draw or paint or anything like that. The ideal purpose of this is to reuse your papers and the books that you have not used throughout the year, and just create something new out of it. So what it will finally look like is this, which is all tied up together. If you're wondering what I have used to tie, is a thread. Macrame thread is what you get. This kind of thread, it is called a macrame thread. You can also use a bamboo thread or bamboo rope thread if you get. Make sure it is a little bit thin. You don't want to be too thick, because you will not be able to flip your pages otherwise if it is too thick, and it is going to create a problem. So what the trick here is, you put a thread from the beginning front side and then pull it to the back side, because a knot will come at the back if you do it. Otherwise it will come at the front and it might look a little bit ugly. So that's the thing. Now there are other things you can try doing. Is you can create a flower pattern like this. It's a very simple kind of a flower pattern to create on the cover. I can actually show you one right now if you want to try. It's a very simple pattern. You don't need to be a painter for this. As I was saying, when you're going to paint flowers on this, you're going to first create a dot at the center, and then you're going to apply a pressure at the beginning and slowly move downwards in a vertical line format, as you can see. You don't have to do anything much. It can be uneven. It can be 3 petals, 4 petals, multiple petals kind of a flower. And you just go around playing with your paper and create this kind of patterns. So my flowers are pretty uneven, but that's the look I'm going for. So maybe you can do that. So once you're done with your drawing and painting, whatever you want to do with the cover, you have almost punched it. So your planner is pretty much ready. But I would like to tell you one more thing. Is something that fascinates me with the planner is basically as to the stickers that come along with it. But A, they are very expensive. B, they are not personalized at all. So maybe we can make our own like stickers to go inside the to-do list. So for stickers, basically you're going to be using any sheet that you have. I'm just trying to find mine, which I created. So you're going to be using same, you can use these small paper sheets, or you can again use like a white chart paper or the same mixed media paper that we have. And you can create stickers. So I've created a few. So I'm just going to be showing it to you right now. Just a second. Can you pause? I'll just find them. Okay. So these are the stickers I've created. You cannot see, but I'll just show it to you. Now my theme of the planner you see is like an orange color, yellow color, and a green color rainbow. Okay, and there's a blue in the clouds right in here. So that's my color scheme. So based on that only, I have created like my stickers. So the stickers are like pretty cool to be used in a planner. The only thing is I do not have like a sheet that is like a glue stick. Directly you peel it off and you stick it off. That's not going to happen if you're going to create them like DIY yourself. Using 2A tape is also a bad option because your sheets will start getting bulkier if you put 2A tapes to your stickers. So the best way to stick them is going to be perhaps using a glue stick. That's your Fevi-Stick. And I have a few notes written here. So I have cut like a strip of paper and I've colored it with the colors of my planner cover, and it's written important. So you can just, it's very easy. All you have to do is just use a sheet and you can just cut it like from the side and just make it like this. And this is your one thing which says important. So this is one. You can personalize it. I've written important. You can write meeting, or you can write big day. So I've written one more with a big day. So I've just made like a batch kind of a situation, and I have just cut it alongside with the scissors, and this just shows like a big day written on it. Then I have something which says like a mail. So I've just created like a small mailbox on this that says mail. So you can personalize it with whatever you want. There's one more with like a shopping cart. So if it is for the mommies over here and they want to go for a grocery run, so you can just make like a small shopping cart in here, and that's your sticker. One very close to my heart is with reference to Parent Circles initiative Gadget Free Hour, and it's also very important like to switch off your mobile phones and ask your kids also to have like a time without gadgets doing some activity. So I have created this small sticker called for no gadget zone kind of a situation. So it's basically mobile with those broadband icons at the side and this cross sign. So this is for gadget free hour. You can personalize it the way you want to. These are just a few options that are very handy, like self-care, it could be one, meeting could be one, birthday could be one, so that you can add to your planner. One more thing in the planner, usually when you bring a planner from like outside, is a pocket that comes along with it. So if you want to put your stickers inside of that, you can definitely make a pocket behind. I'll show you how to make a pocket for your planner. This is the last step we're going to be doing. But for now, I'm just going to be adding my stickers to this pocket so that I can use it later on. So this is the pocket of my planner. It's quite easy to keep like one, like what do you call it? Sticky note situation here or something like that. So that's one thing. To make your pocket for the planner, you need like any plastic sheet that is available at your place. So now people will say, how do you get like an exact sheet? Sometimes, if you try cutting it, one end will be open, other end might be sealed. So you just have to stick the side which is open and make sure that the mouth of the plastic is open. So I'm going to be using this particular plastic sheet and I'm going to be showing you how to do it exactly. So I'm very lucky that my all four sides are like sealed. But if it is not, you're just going to be gluing one end, keep it for a while and then use it. But I do not want this flip open side of the plastic. So I'm just going to be cutting it now. You can just cut it like alongside of its frame. Now, if you want this pocket to be smaller, you can cut it like of the size you want. This size is actually a proper size so that you can fit in like a big sticky note bundle or something inside of it. And now you have this flip side open. Okay, so all four sides are sealed. Make sure if you're going to be using plastic which is stone, because they do tend to tear if you are, very heavy with it. So just make sure you seal it well with the help of a glue gun. I would suggest to use a glue gun in this case because it is easier to use. And if you use like Fevicol or things like that, you will see the residue of Fevicol and it might look, not so eye pleasing. So you're going to be start using your glue gun. Mine is already ready. So if kids are going to be using glue gun, please make sure your parents are around and do not use it if any adult is not with you, because it's a little bit tricky to use it. So beginning with how to stick it. Now I don't want to have to do anything much right now. I have to just put glue to the three sides, sorry. To the three sides, and I'm going to be sticking it as soon as possible because my glue will dry. Okay, and it will be a problem later on. And you just press all the three sides nicely so that if you see the glue is coming outside from somewhere, just remove it because it is easier to do it with a glue gun. And you're going to keep the upper side open. This side has not been stuck very well, so I'm just going to redo it. You have to be very quick with this step because on plastic, this glue gun glue, it just dries out pretty quickly. So you have to be very quick when you're doing this particular step. Now that your all three sides are stuck and your top is open, right in your, you see my 4 fingers can easily go in it. So this is the kind of width it's going to be giving me. You can put anything inside of this. I have some cute little cards that I keep. From this book, I'm going to be transferring it to this pocket here. These small cards that, if you have ordered something from a small business or, just like a greeting card or something like that, you can keep them in your. People also tend to keep like dry flowers and things like that. So I have like a couple of dry flowers right in here. I can just keep one of it there. You can just make it look like aesthetic, pretty, and useful at the same time. So it's just like a quirky thing to do with your planner. So just like a dry flower is added to it, and you can just use it at the back. So that's pretty much it with your DIY planner. What I want to show you is you can also create some painting like this. This is made from Gosha paints. It's upside down, sorry. You can use this one, and Gosha paints are good for your normal papers because they're in between acrylic and your watercolors. So if you want to invest in them, like, it's a good option if you're going to be drawing more of these kind of things. So you can definitely try and create something like this. And that's it. Your planner is ready. You can dive in and, sort of get started with what you want to write. It's not like, what do you call it? It's not a complex thing to make, and it's definitely useful. You can have multiple of them, say maybe you want to start journaling, you can do it as a journal. If you want to do a to-do list, you can do it for that. And you can just make sure it is bind it so well that you can easily write and flip the pages, which is why I recommended this macrame thread. One more I wanted to show you or tell you is you can use these kind of leaves, paint them and just stamp it and use it as a cover and just write like a quote like belief in yourself or something like that. So that's one more thing. Colors I have used are all acrylic colors. You can use of any brand, any color that you like, and just create a rainbow, simple rainbow, something like this, and write your quote or who does it belong to or anything like that. So my front side is nothing. If you want, you can also add a pocket right in the front and at the back of your uh, to-do list and a planner or whatever you want to call it. So that's pretty much it. I hope this was useful, and I hope that you will use up all the planners that are pending from 2021 before you go on a stationery hunt for 2022. I think it is very important to use papers, not waste them, and recycle them as much as possible. If you know somebody who makes handmade papers, you can definitely use handmade papers for this kind of stuff. Now I don't know how well can you write on those handmade papers, so I will just recommend using the old books, diaries and everything that is left. Three things to remember when you do this particular thing. Just make sure you have some time in hand, because it will take time for you to paint, punch them together. And secondly, if kids are doing this and if you're going to be using glue gun, please make sure you have an adult with you, and you can write quotes on this or do anything like that, and you can just start writing your to-do list. That is pretty much it. Nothing complex, but a very simple, cute notebook kind of a thing, which is here. And I hope you like this session. You can tune into Pen Circle for other such kind of interesting stuffs. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.